Are you just trying to live, laugh, or love? Or are you just trying to do all of the above? This is the podcast for you. Whether you're an aspiring comic, a headlining comic, a class clown, or just an average bro or doe looking for a good time, you, my friend, are in the right place. Welcome to the magical world of Just Trying to Podcast. Here we go. Cello, triers, doers, and everything in betweeners. This is Just Trying to Podcast with your host, Mike Tony Heath. For the final time, you have heard that intro. That's right, folks. Podcast number 30, the big 30, which I'm about to turn in just over like a month and a half. I'll be 30. A little timestamp right there. This is the final episode of Just Trying to Podcast. If you've been on the journey for a while, or even recently, you've been paying attention, you've been listening, we've been ideating a new name, a new chapter for the podcast. So the podcast isn't dying. We're just going to call it something different because I'm an oddball. You's an oddball. We all oddballs and we keeping it weird. And in our weirdness, oddballs, fellow oddballs, what we've realized is that Just Trying to Podcast was a great way to start because that's all we were just trying to do. I started this podcast at the beginning of my comedy journey, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to begin to kind of chronicle my journey in comedy, the chronic what cools of comedy. Yep. And So I knew I was just trying to podcast about it and kind of interview people, talk to people, just have conversations with people along the way and get to know other people, across the country. We got to talk to people on the East Coast, Midwest, West Coast. We've done it all in the U.S. And golly, maybe not Guam yet, but we'd love to. Puerto Rico, we'd love to talk to y'all too, and we just haven't got there yet. We're just working. But anyways, we've come to this point of needing a new name to really capture what we're doing here. So yeah, just wanted to collectively just grieve what is no more after this, but also say hello, cello, how do you do to what's new. And it's coming, so we'll get into the new name at the end of this show. But we got some comments. Thank you guys for commenting, whether that be on X, formerly known as the Tweetosphere, or the YouTubes, or the Instagrams, or wherever you're finding us. Dropping comments, letting us know what you think. And we have a couple comments from the episode with Colin Como from Louisiana. We were talking about a bank robbery there from in the state of Missouri, actually, Bonnie Gooch. So go back to listen. I think it was episode 27, I believe, with Colin Como, a local aspiring comedian here in Seattle. But we talked about Bonnie Gooch, who was robbing a bank, and we got a comment from Mr. Slang 710, and he or she or they was letting us know that Gooch is their girlfriend's last name. So we've already established that the Gooch families are out here trying to get the bag. They're trying to take it from you. And I warned Mr. Slang that they better beware. So if you're listening to this now, Mr. Slang, dude, I told you in the comment. If you didn't see the comment, let me tell you right now. If you think your Gooch is going to take care of you and not come in and try to steal what you got, steal your bag, Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the Gooch is coming for it. They're trying to get you comfortable to a point where you're unsuspecting of them. So I appreciate you leaving a comment. And the ... Now, Mr. Slang, I don't know if you're watching the video, you see it. Let me tell you, Mr. Slang 710 in the comment said Gooch is my girlfriend's last name. They put not 3 dots, but 4 dots. And if I know anything, ... is like, haha. But if you put 4 dots, I think you're beginning to realize this is a problem. This is not okay. So if you know Mr. Slang 710, check them out. They have any money left? Did their bank accounts get drained? Because they're dating a Gooch, and that Gooch is about to get that Gucci with that money. All right. And then in that, we kind of talk about how people don't listen to the radio anymore, or I thought, and that's kind of how one of the listeners, Trevor Thorlickson, shout out, what up, TT? Let me know that he listens to the radio like every day and hear the story. And then, so MoMom-JY5JB, what a username. Love it, by the way, MoMom, was letting us know that they too, so Colin, Como, Trevor, and MoMom are keeping the radio alive. But what they do is they say they actually listen to the radio every day, AM and FM, or FM and AM. And they were saying, I don't know what I'm missing. So I responded and I said, what am I missing? What's going on in the AM and FM radio? And they let me know that MoMom enjoys great talk shows, a wide variety of music, and there will always be something fun about listening to the baseball game while I'm driving. Pause. That is the only sport that you can still listen to on the radio, or probably ever. Like, once we got the television, football, way better. Have you watch a game and you're able to see the whole field. You can see the offense, the defense. You get the commentator, the Joe Bucks, they're coming in. Rest in peace to Madden. We had great commentators. We have great commentators on the great game of American football. But, even basketball, or really even soccer, you hear it, and soccer is maybe a little bit better, but these games where there's so much going on in like football and basketball, there's so much to communicate so quickly that it's like, oh, Jameson's got the ball and he's passing over to Harden, who's got the rock, and it's like they're pulling up for a J, shot, rebound, foul. Oh, we can breathe. And then they're going like, all right, Harden's taking another court. And it's just so hard to keep up with. But baseball is boring. So it only makes sense that baseball is enjoyable on the radio, which is a boring medium. So I get it. So they go on to say, oh my gosh, look for the time and station of a program called, quote, wait, don't tell me. It's, end quote, sorry, don't tell me, end quote. It's hilarious, laughing face. That is what MoMom was letting me know. I've never heard of wait, don't tell me. It's hilarious. I guess it's on the AM or the FMs. So thank you, MoMom, for looking out, and thank you for dropping comments. I really appreciate it. You can also leave a comment anywhere. We'll find it. Shoot us an email. You just shoot me an email at miketonyheath@gmail.com. I can respond that way, or send in a voicemail. Hit the hotline. Check the link in the show notes or description on our Insta or wherever. You'll find the button or the link to hit the hotline. Send in a voicemail. Let us know what you got going on in your life. Are you noticing any world activity that seems a little weird, or as we like to call weird world activity, which gets into what's going on in Saudi Arabia right now. So what's going on over in Saudi is that they have started construction of the, quote, line project. It's kicked off. And if you've never heard about the line, is this by 2030, they are trying to They're trying to lessen the kind of economic reliance on oil for their country. So this is kind of one thing that they're doing, I guess. But they're trying to make this innovative city that's just like a line. I don't remember how many miles. Frankie, can you look this up? How many miles the line is going to be? All right, thanks, Frankie. All right, so it's looking like this city is part of Saudi Arabia's 2030 project, and that they are going to create a city that is 110 miles long. It's just a line. That's why they call it the Line Project. This is crazy. So if you're listening to just the audio of this, click on the link in the show notes. We get a little video attached here of kind of what it's going to look like and the construction that's going. But golly, I wonder, just like, man, are they going to get this done in 6 years? This is just crazy. But they're trying to build an entire city. So there's going to be like these 2 parallel skyscrapers, and each of them are going to be like, I guess, like 106 or 110 miles. It seems like there's kind of some discrepancy there. But they unveiled the plans about this like 2 years ago, and each of these skyscrapers are going to be 500 meters tall. That's actually higher than most of the world's skyscrapers, and they just look like on the outside like these mirrors. And this is just, golly, they are, America, what are we doing? I think we need to retaliate with what Saudi Arabia is doing. We got to come back and we're going to build a line, and let's just cut it straight across. Let's go New York to LA, baby. Let's cut right through the heart of America, Kansas City, and let's just build a line city. I don't know how long that would be, but can you imagine it, dude? This line city, and we do like a hyper like loop on it, so we can travel New York to LA really fast. Great for comedians. You're up, 5 o'clock, you got a spot in New York, you hop on the line, and then that line takes you all the way to LA for your 9 p.m. spot over there. Bang, bang. You hop off in KC, you hop off the line, and you go grab some Joe's KC barbecue. Shout out to my boys over there with that Night of the Living barbecue, the best barbecue sauce that's ever existed, will ever exist. But that's weird, man. It's weird that they're doing that. I hope that they succeed, and I hope that we beat them. I hope they do succeed. I'm all for them. Build your line city, but I hope we get so inspired that we begin our own project that's even longer, the whole span of our entire United States of America, the thing that will unite us. I think that's what we need in this country. We need a line. Let's call it the race, because you've heard about the race for space, right? That supposed theory that we landed on the moon, right? All that stuff. Like, I think this is like the new space race is racing for the line. Like, who can build the biggest, longest line, the quickest? And I believe in America. I think we can do it. And you know what I don't believe in? I don't believe India landed on the moon. I'm not saying I don't have anything against India. I don't think America has landed on the moon. I'm on that. You guys have seen the videos. I think NASA is pretty clear. They doctor their photographs, their videos. So there's this news story out that the India's Chandrayaan-3 moon mission, which had a budget of only $75 million, has landed on the moon, which people have been talking about. It cost $165 million to make the film Interstellar, which is one of the top 10 best films that have ever existed. It's in my top 10. It is arguably it's undeniable, actually. But this makes India supposedly the 4th country to ever land on the moon, and the first ever to land on the dark side. So essentially what they're saying is, yeah, y'all can't see it. We landed on the dark side, but like, we did it, guys. That's like that kid in high school that said, I dunked, man. It's like, where's the video? He's like, I don't know. I was just in the gym by myself and I threw a dunk down, bro. It's like, all right, do it again. They're like, well, my ankle hurts. You know what I mean? It's like, come on now. Where's the proof of this? Of course, you would be the fourth country to. Now, again, it's nothing against India. I love India. I love their food. I love their culture. I love their language. I love their love of just all things beautiful. And man, like tea. Like, gosh, a cup of hot tea, like a nice little London fog action, or just even like a nice like herbal tea. Like I love India. I'm totally for it. I'm just saying, how do y'all expect me to believe that one, y'all did it for golly half the price of the film Interstellar, and maybe that's to say that was a bloated budget on that film, but I'm saying, come on, landed on the moon. You're the fourth country to ever land on the moon, and you did it on the dark side, we've never gone there, and like, of course, we couldn't see you do it. I'm like, I don't know, man. We never see the dark side of the moon. Pink Floyd. But I do have encouraging news. I don't want to be all just, weird stuff's going on in the world, right? There's the modern space race, the line race, dark side of the moon stuff, Transformers, that's where the Transformers are at. Like it's scary out here, but it's like really, like, it's weird, but it's so cool. Like I wrote this paper once on brain computer interfaces for a seminary class I was in, and basically brain computer interfaces are just what they sound like, a way to like interfaces your brain with a computer. So it connects us to technology, right? So here's what there's a story that's coming out about how a paralyzed woman was actually able to speak again thanks to artificial intelligence. So her name is Ann Johnson, and she stopped being able to talk after suffering a severe stroke 18 years ago. These pups coming into college right now, dude, I wasn't even out here. That's how long she hasn't been able to speak. But this new study revealed that she could speak again thanks to a brain implant and AI tech that allowed scientists to decode her brain signals. This is a sci-fi film right here, dude, and represent them as an avatar speaking words on a computer screen. Can you picture that, dude? For 18 years, you suffered a stroke, you can't talk, and then someone hooks you up like the Matrix to a computer, and then you think things, and then you are watching and listening as an avatar of you on a television begins to say the very words that you are thinking. But what if they got it wrong, dude? What if they misread the code, and she has gained some new level of enlightenment, or she has figured out how to actually land on the moon? Or maybe she's discovered the meaning of life, which is to love God and your neighbor. I already know it, to glorify God and enjoy him forever. All right, so she knows the meaning of life, but I don't know, man. That's just now, but for real though, that's so cool. Ann Johnson, like, shout out to you and to the scientists. That's an incredible thing. I'm just scared that that really, this is like a cool thing. I think, man, let's build out this tech where we can regain, what we've lost in our humanity, but let's not become more. We don't need cyborgs out here, y'all. That's spooky season, dude. Because that's essentially what the film Blue Beetle is all about. Is like this company's building this tech to become something more than human, to become a cyborg. I don't know if you guys have seen it. This new superhero film that just came out. It's cheesy. I get it. It's got some cheese to it. I think George Lopez, the crazy uncle dude, has real big Uncle Tom vibes. It's a funny role. It's a funny film. I think I didn't get to watch it, actually. I was at the theater, and gosh, I was going to a show, a concert on Saturday night. So I had to come back. We were grabbing dinner with friends. So I didn't see the ending. So maybe it has a horrible ending. Don't spoil it for me yet. Please do not drop in the comments the ending of this film. I will be tragic. That would be tragic, dude. But what's else? Dude, today I was at church, and I met Walter White. Dude, Heisenberg from Breaking Bad was at church this morning. Dude, check out. And I think he's retired. And dude, I'm trying to sell my scooter, which is actually legally a motorcycle, but it's like the stupidest motorcycle in the world, dog. Like, it's barely legally a motorcycle. Like, it's just a couple cc's over the legal limit. So what that means in Washington State is that I had to go take a motorcycle course. Like this, like a whole, like you take your bike out there and you have to do the course. And it was like this 2-day thing. You know, you have to pay money, you go out there. So you got a bunch of like 50-year-olds on Harleys, a bunch of 20, 30-year-olds on some like Kawasaki Ninjas and stuff like that, some crotch rockets. And then there's me on my powder puff blue scooter, dude, trying to take this course. And I feel very confident riding around the city, and I love riding it. But, man, just it was honestly humiliating to be in like a lineup of like 20 like real motorcycles and have my dinky little barely legal motorcycle scooter, but I'm selling it. So if you're in the market for a motorized scooter, it's the best thing ever. It's like it's the best motorcycle scooter combo that's ever existed. It's classic 1982 Honda Passport C70. Brought it all the way from Missouri out here, and got to get rid of her, man. Got to get rid of her because we're trying to get a dog. Yep, we're trying to get a dog. The Heath Hut, No One Out, Weirds the Hut is sometime in the future of our life. We're not sure how soon, but my wife has dog puppy fever. It's true. We've been learning about these dog breeds and about poodles, about hypoallergenic poodles. And what I'm learning is that like each breed really kind of has like 3 or 4 sizes of the same breed. It's like I'm learning so much about this. Like, this is so stupid. Like, you can get a toy poodle, which is like this little thing that's like the size of like not even like your head, but just like a burrito. It's like burrito size. It's actually like a rodent. It's like a rat, and like they bark, but they like squeal like a rodent. So you got rat size, and then you got mini poodle, which is like definitely not rat. Like it'd be like the world's largest rat. It's like definitely bigger, and it's got bark to it. But these mini poodles are basically just big cats. Just big, not like Tiger King big cats, but they're like fat cats, like that. What's that cartoon of like that orange cat? Man, drop in the comments. I cannot remember. And Frankie's taking a potty break, so I can't even ask him to look it up. Oh man, but anyway, it's like Gerald or no, like Gary. No, that's from SpongeBob. Man, there's something like anyways, these mini sized poodles are just fat cats. Then you got sometimes you kind of rock in like a medium poodle, which is I'm about it. But like the main one is like the toy, the mini, and the standard poodle, just the regular old average poodle, an average pood. And they're like just a dog. You know, they got that wolf in them. You know what I'm talking about? They got that that wolf in them. And so I'm voting for a standard poodle because I want a dog, not a fat cat or a rat. I would like an actual descendant of a wolf. And so that I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, golly, if you got any connections so we've been looking at these Swiss Doodles, which is like a Australian Burmese mountain dog poodle mix. That is so many words, but I think they're pretty expensive. So maybe if you got like the hookup or something on that'd be dope. And yeah, just like a couple more things, man. Like I had like a really intense week this week. I don't know if you guys can relate to this at all, but I was driving to this open mic over in Capitol Hill, and I was just lined up. Okay, so you know how like a street will have like that turning lane in the middle, but there's not like, it's kind of like a buffering zone. Like there's nowhere to turn, but there's still like a turning lane in the middle. So I'm parked. Not I'm parked. I'm about to park. Right. So I'm in the street. I got my right hand blinker on. I'm waiting for this car to pull out in front of me. I've probably been there for like 10, 15 seconds because this guy looks like he's about to inch out, but he's taking a while to get out of this spot. And there's this guy behind me, and there's a car parked to the left of me in the turn lane. So we're like 3 cars deep. I got a car parked on my right, and then the spot in front of him, there's a car getting out. I'm in the street with my blinker on, waiting for this guy to get out so I can parallel park there. And I got a car parked in the middle of the street in the turn lane. And then this guy behind me starts blaring on his horn, this Uber driver, man. And he starts blaring on his horn, and then he's squeezing between me and the car parked in the middle of the road. And then he just in Capitol Hill, which is Rainbow Central, just yells out, "You're such a selfish. I can't believe you are just blocking the car. Yeah, there's cars trying to get by here." And then he pulls out in front of me, and he's parks his car in this halfway in the spot, halfway in the street, blocking me. He gets out of his car. He gets up, walks up to my window. I was like, dude, this guy, please don't have a bat, dude. And he's walking out of the car, and he's dropping both F-bombs, bro. He's dropping both of the big Fs in Capitol Hill, and there's people walking across the street, man. It is getting spicy, and owners of bars are walking out and be like, "Yo, dude, move on, man, move on. Like, what are you doing? Go back to where you came from." And it's this like heavyweight white guy, and which is really funny to hear yell that at that profile of a human, but and where they're at, but so he kind of. He doesn't really cool off, but he's like, I guess he's got to go pick somebody up. So he hops back in his car, and then he throws a Gatorade bottle at my vehicle. And golly, I've never experienced such pure road rage. It was the most like, and I went up to this open mic, and there was this balcony here, as a comedy bar, and folks were like, "Dude, are you okay?" We heard what was going on, so we all like looked out here, and then realized it was you. And I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy, dude! Like, what'd you do?" I was like, "I don't know. I was just trying to parallel park." That's all I was trying to do, man. And that 10 to 15 seconds, man, that will. I was also kind of wondering, man, like, what that guy just go through? Did he like just go through the Taco Bell drive-through and then like drop his beefy 5-layer on his lap? So he's just going through it, dude. You know, I don't know what was going on in his world, but crazy, dude. But comedy has been great here. I've been having so much fun. I started doing this thing where I'd go out to Green Lake, and I just take like this portable speaker, and I'll just do comedy as people are kind of there's like this trail. Look it up on a map. Green Lake in Seattle is like this massive lake, and there's like there's like a walking trail around it. So people will just go out there and take it for a nice stroll, and they'll play like sports in the fields out there. So I'm at this intersection by these basketball courts and the lake, this kind of T in the loop, and I'll just post up and I'll just do comedy, just kind of interact with people. And I found this Birkenstock, this massive white Birkenstock, when I was walking up there the first time. So I kind of made it my thing. Like, I was searching for the owner of this Birkenstock. I still haven't found the owner. It's kind of like a little Cinderella story. So I'll just be out there just, riffing with people as they walk by, and I'll kind of work in some of my jokes and try different stuff. But what was so cool, man, is this guy, Al, who was this houseless guy in the city. He walks up to me and he starts talking about me. He's like, "Man, like the Father told me to come talk to you." I was like, "That's what's up, dude. Praise the Lord." And he's like, "Yeah, take a seat, man. I'm doing some comedy." He's like, "Great. I would love to. I need to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay, cool, man. I'm going to keep doing this, and like stick around. Like, we'll chat afterwards." And he's like, "All right, bet." And then so he sits down, and then he starts shuffling through his backpack and starts pulling something out. I'm kind of keeping an eye on him. It's like, I don't I don't know. I just met the guy, I don't know what's going on. Everybody starts shuffling through a backpack. Your ears kind of perk up a little bit. That inner wolf comes out. You know what I'm saying? And then he pulls out this American flag and starts shaking it out. And I'm like, all right, dude, okay. A little patriotic. I'm about it. Here, USA. 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 And he didn't start chanting or nothing like that, but then he starts kind of shaking it out and folds it up a little bit, and he starts approaching me again. I was like, okay, all right, see what's going to go on here, Al. And he walks up to me. He's like, hey, the Father told me to give you this. I was like, man, that's awesome. I've only ever received one other American flag in my entire life. My father gave it to me after he served in Iraq. He had the Marines or the SEALs. Golly, now I feel bad. I think it was the Marines who were flying a flag, and he had one like you could like it was like flown a day, and like you could kind of take it down and be like, man, this. So it's just a really thoughtful gift from my father and from his time serving the country. And so this is like the first flag, the second flag I've ever received in my entire life. So I was like, man, I thank you so much, but like I didn't have anywhere to put it. I want to put it on the ground. I want to respect the flag, and everything. So he's like, all right, I got an idea. So what the guy did is just I had my camera set up. So he just hooked it up. He like tied it up on my camera's tripod. And I just kind of wanted to like, well, then I didn't really know what to do. And it was just so genuine. So I just wanted to leave the flag up. But then I felt weird. Like as someone's walking up, they're like, what's this guy doing, man? This guy's some politician out here, open air preaching or something, man. So I was like, man, I just got to recognize what's happening. So I just started singing the Star Spangled Banner. But I forgot the words. I stumbled through it for like 30 seconds. And this lovely older lady who was sitting there watching they're just kind of enjoying, kind of hanging out. We were kind of bantering back and forth, but she was just enjoying the comedy, sitting on this bench, and she's like, hold on, I'll look up the lyrics. So she looked up the lyrics. She walked up, and I want to just play a rendition, or play our rendition of the Star Spangled Banner that we got to sing. And so just enjoy this real quick.
Oh, okay. Are you going to sing it with me? I'm not very good either. Okay, we're going to sing Al just gave me this American flag. And that's Al right there. We're going to sing the national anthem in honor of this. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the valves bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you so much, Becca.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I feel like we needed to do that to honor Al and the flag. Here's my card, by the way. Thanks so much for stopping by.
And you're on.
I'm on the internet. Yeah, if you want to give a sticker to somebody, or keep it for yourself, this has been a pleasure to. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciated that, Becca.
Man, I love that I got to do that, man. Thank you. Shout out to Becca. Shout out to Al for the flag. Shout out to Becca for coming up there, man, and just singing with it. That was such a fun moment, and I had so much fun. Like a bunch of people would just stop by and chat with me, kind of interact with my comedy. And Becca stayed for like 20 minutes, dude. If you kind of add up before and after the song we say, it was so much fun. So catch me out at Green Lake doing comedy, man. It's fun. We're out here, dude. We're doing it. I'm trying to get a show going here in Seattle for my 30th birthday on So the show will be on either Friday or Saturday. So that'll be like of like my birthday kind of week or area of the month. So it'll be on like the 20th. So it's like a Friday or a Saturday. We're still working on the deeds to lock down a venue, but put it on your calendar, man. Buy a ticket. Come out here. It is going to be a hot show. Be celebrating the big 3-0. You're invited. Come out. We're going to have a great comedy show, a great hangout afterwards. We'll have cake, dude. It will be amazing. And yeah, just want to invite you as a trier or a doer or an in-betweener. Come out for my big 30th birthday party. We're going to have a show beforehand and then a hang afterwards. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see you there. Check my website, MikeTonyHeath.com. For all the deets, or the Instagram. I'll be promoting it there at Mike Tony Heath on the Insta. And dude, comedy's been doing great. I got this new project, this new podcast called Comedy College. So I'm not renaming this podcast Comedy College. It's a whole new project. It's education for comedians by comedians. And it will be this website where we're just kind of stockpiling resources. Here's like the books you got to read if you're just starting out, or here's some tips and tricks from fellow comedians who are maybe further along the line. So we'll do some conversations. We might even just turn the camera on like after an open mic and be like, yo, what do you think about this? And just getting like different perspectives from different journeys. Because that's the thing, is like there's not really a comedy college. You just gotta learn through the process, and like everyone's journey in comedy looks so vast. Like even these really successful people who are like doing stadiums or selling out comedy clubs, like how they got there like isn't an XYZ that's like cookie cutter, man. It's all vastly different. So just getting that different perspective. So yeah, it'll be like, it's not just a podcast. It's more of just like a hub of education for comedians by comedians. It's out now. We got great guests coming in, and check out the website linked in the bio will be kind of the hub where everything will live. And if you're wondering about anything, and it's not going to be just comedy content that I'm producing. I'm just almost a year into this. It's learning from other people who are further down the line and just relaying in kind of like a clean way, and even stockpiling stuff that people's already been convinced. Like I'm gonna hyperlink Dusty Slay's 10 or like 15 episodes on how to become a comedian from his podcast. I'm gonna just do like the timestamps of you should listen to the whole episodes. Like they're hilarious, but if just for reference purpose, I'll timestamp it so you can just on the website push play, and it will take you to the episode and like the exact time they start talking about the tips, because he's kind of he's put these really profound breaking it down of his journey and how to become a comedian. But I think it's very transferable to many situations of how you could do it. So that's all going to be on the website. Check out the link in the bio. It's going to be fun. And dude, we got a new name for the podcast, and dude, we are excited. It's coming in. But I will say this. Drum roll, please. And the new name is going to be decided the next episode. So I thought about announcing it right here, but I want to do it formally in a better way than this. I want it to be formal. So if you haven't caught up on the journey, I've been doing these Insta stories, taking polls. So we started with 8 names. I had like this list of hundreds of names that I've been asking people about kind of informally. And then I put the top 8 from all of those names onto 2 polls on Instagram. And then we narrowed that down. We talked about names like Strangeland, Oddballs, Chronicles of Comedy, Ordinary Oddballs, Average Oddcast, Strange Ones, Strangeland. We covered a gamut of all types of new names, but all kind of just around this theme of weird. That's the unifying theme between all these new ideas for a name, is something odd, something weird, which is me, man. Keep Mike Tony Heath weird. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm doing. I'm staying weird and I'm staying funny, okay? It came down to two. There's two names that were remaining. Oddballs and Average Oddcast. Oddballs and Average Oddcast. These are the final two. And people even voted on this. So the results will be shared this week of that poll, in case you missed it. And then the decision for the new name for the podcast will come out before episode 31 of the podcast. The new name will come out before then, and it will be kind of the new chapter. The new era will begin with episode 31. Episode 30 is the closing of a chapter. The closing of Just Trying to Podcast, and now we're doing it, man. We are not just trying, dude. We are doing it. What we are doing is clear. We are staying weird, and we are staying funny. Yes, that's what we're doing. All right, we're going to take a call. Somebody hit the hotline about the new name. This call is coming in, and let's play it.
Hey, Mike. It's Elliot and Anna.
Hey, what's up, Elliot and Anna Telly, some day one listeners. How y'all doing? What's up, y'all? Thank you for calling in. Again, y'all can hit the hotline, too. Just check the link in our bio. Hit the button. Come on now. Call in. Let's hear more.
Hey.
I've listened to the podcast. Anna's never listened to it.
All right, so we're going to respect what Elliot says, and we're going to take Anna's advice with a grain of salt.
First choice was the Oddballs. Second choice, Average Oddcast. I voted for the Average Oddcast.
Okay, so he's got Average Oddcast. I'm curious to hear if he's going to share his rationale for why Average Oddcast over Oddballs.
Rolls off the tongue.
All right, it rolls off the tongue. I feel like Oddballs rolls off the tongue better, but I hear you. Average Oddcast. I like that it's two words. I do like that. I do think that's got a nice punch to it. Sounds like a podcast name. One of the guests we've had on the podcast multiple times at this point, Jimmy Chuckles, he also voted for Average Oddcast, and he had his was like, yeah, it just sounds more like a podcast name. It's more clear, you know. His suggestion was that we are all oddballs. Everyone in this community, we are the oddballs, and Average Oddcast is the show, or like the kind of unifier. Let's hear more.
Love it a lot. Anna, as a no-time listener, what's your thoughts?
Average Oddcast.
All right, so a long-time listener and a no-time listener both voting for Average Oddcast. Interesting.
But why? Tell the people.
It just feels way more like Tony Heath.
It feels more me. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Is that because you think I'm pretty average? Or I'm not that of much of an oddball?
Like, why? Yeah, why not?
Just feels good in your mouth. Average.
Ooh, it feels good in your mouth. Oddballs. Average Oddcast. All right.
Oddcast.
Oddcast.
Instead of oddballs.
Like, Oddcast? Come on.
Oddcast? Yeah,
Oddballs,
I like that.
no.
Average Oddcast.
No.
All right, you've got the voice memo. The people have spoken. Hopefully you pick this one, because if you don't, I guess it'll be awkward. But I'll find out in your next episode. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much, Tellies, for calling in. You will find out in the next episode. Not this one. You'll find out in the next episode. I can't remember if I had a promise. I don't want to be a man of empty promises, but I'll just be honest. I don't have peace about it. I want to make this decision well. I want to make it right. So there's still time to, kind of give your feedback. Leave me a call, send in a call, hit the hotline, drop a comment, DM us, let us know. Average Oddcast, Oddballs, throw in a surprise. If it's good enough, we may choose it. Thank you guys so much. We're 30 episodes into this journey. I've been doing comedy since October of last year. And I should say, yeah, the show in October is not just a celebration of my 30th birthday, but also like my 1 year of doing comedy, which began on October 18th. of 2022. So October 18th, 2023 will be a whole year doing comedy, and so the show will happen in that weekend, and I'll be celebrating that. So that's a cool milestone. I'm looking forward to. I feel like I have hit most of the goals I had for this year, which was to get paid for doing comedy at a comedy club. Check. Perform 50 times. Check. I think those are the two big goals that I can really remember. Those are the two ones that I was focused on, I should say. I'm just thankful to have achieved them, and it's like kind of look back on this year and just thank you guys for being a part of it, here on this podcast and kind of following the journey. And yeah, we're just trying to live, laugh, or love. That's all we're just trying to do. And it's been great. And I thank you for being a part of it. I love you all. Stay funny and stay weird. Peace.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need.
Great shot.